Alrighty, everybody. Once again, welcome back to our channel here in Elite Raceway. Good evening, good morning, wherever you guys are watching from. And yeah, we are here live with our second race group for today, having wrapped up our limited assist tier 2 about an hour ago. And yeah, we're here with our talented no assist division 1 group. We have 15 drivers currently on the grid. However, I might be having about two more joining in. That's if Moikuli and Alex wake up. We do know the race runs a little bit late for Alex and a little bit too early for Moikuli. But yeah, in the comms booth you have me, La Rodri, and joining in soon we do have our No Assist Division Admin Turtle Commander 7 joining in a few. But yeah, we're here for round 10 out of 12 tracks here for this season, here in season 6. And nice. It's a nice little reminiscence. Division 1 being one of our groups where yeah, one of our original groups since season 1. So wonderful to see the group still going, and obviously a lot of these drivers, some of these drivers having been with us for quite a long while. So I will say that we do appreciate it and we do enjoy seeing you guys on the grid. But let's see, just taking a look at the Discord chat just in case anybody needs an extra invite. But yes, looks like we have already a couple of drivers already sending out a lap. I do believe that is going to be Fosina, who is going to be putting in the first qualifying lap. We have quite a strong lineup of drivers once again here with us. We have seen amazing battles all throughout the season, so definitely looking forward to seeing how the championship is going to play out. But as I see, Fosina is going around the final corner. Is going to be our first driver to put in a lap time, and it is going to be a 127.1. And I did want to take a look at our tier 1. Let's see. So in tier 1, with limited assist, we had Alex Cargo, who put in the fastest provisional lap, or actually pole. He put in a 125.3. So honestly, that's a time I can see MK7 Hitch putting in. Hoven Rally puts in a 126.6, so pushing Fosina down a position. And so looking at our drivers championship, so we do have MK7 Hitch. MK7 Hitch, who's currently sitting in the pits at the moment. MK7 Hitch, continuing his lead in the championship, has a total of 275 points. 25 points behind him, we have Mac T in the Ferrari with a total of 250 points. And Mac T, who unfortunately wasn't able to participate last week and looks to be absent tonight as well. I will say for those who know Mac T's job, we admins are quite aware it is quite demanding, so we do know he's usually away for a couple of days. Oh, Mamu crossing the line puts in a 125.4. And it looks like MK7 Hitch has come out of the pit lane and will be starting his lap soon. As he goes around on his out lap, we'll take a look at Altron. So yeah, MK7 Hitch, who is currently our defending champion, having won his first title last season. Yeah, looking to capitalize and score some points, as many points as he can, considering his main rival Mac T is absent. And yeah, looking to secure that, hopefully that second title win. And not only for the Drivers' Championship, but also looks like for the Constructors' Championship as well. As currently Mac T and Sayo have managed to maintain their lead for a couple weeks. Ferrari team having a total of 374 points. Unfortunately, as I mentioned, Mac T not here today, but Sayo is our full-time driver to score points for the Ferrari team. And we do have MK7 Hitch and his teammate Relativity in the Red Bull, only 39 points behind, so quite close. And anything can happen during these final 3 races. Looks like both drivers are in a good opportunity to score some good points. And Watchon going a tad bit wide right there. I do see that MK7 Hitch has started his lap time, so we'll keep an eye on him. But fun little fact. Both, well, all three, Mac T, MK7 Hitch, and Relativity are in the fight to win possibly their second Constructors' Championship. So Mac T having won coincidentally in the Ferrari back in Season 2, but that was in Tier 1, uh, which Tier 1 races on Saturdays with our limited assist. MK7 Hitch having won it last season along with his own driver championship, had won it with Bulldoggers, so that was also in the Ferrari. So the Ferrari team looking quite strong in this league. Um, and Relativity, who also coincidentally in the Red Bull in the European No Assist division, where we had it for a good first season. Unfortunately, couldn't get a lot of European drivers to join in, but Relativity back here in the No Assist Division 1 group, and had actually won it with Moikuli. So Moikuli, yeah, another quick driver to have been paired up with. And looks like Fate actually just putting in a provisional pole, 126.1, but MK7 Hitch is going to cross the line and puts in a 125.9. So really good lap time for MK7 Hitch. As I mentioned, and I do see Mamu's question regarding the Upmir's incident. Give me one second. Apparently people don't remember the announcements, so I will just give that a little bit of a tag while Ultron goes into the pit. I do see Ricky Stanicki's there out on the track. I'll switch over to him while I send this message really quickly. There we go. And so yes, MK7 Hitch holding provisional pole at the moment. As I mentioned here in Tier 1, Alex Cargo, who unfortunately isn't here today, most likely having fallen asleep. Alex Cargo having put in the fastest lap of a 125.3. So MK7 Hitch only about less than 6/10 off from that time. I could definitely see him putting in a 125, even lower than that. Well, sorry, even faster than that, but looks like Ricky Stanicki put in a 127.9, and taking a quick look at who else is able to put in a lap time. Sayo, who appears to be going back into the pit lane. Our Manson, who appears to be up on his time there in Sector 1, having finished up just Sector 1. But yeah, for those who are tuning in for the first time, once again, a big welcome. We do have our drivers currently running in an 18-minute qualifying session, followed by a 50% race after this. That is going to be 26 laps around Silverstone, so quite a long and demanding race. Plenty of overtaking opportunities. As mentioned, this is quite an iconic and historical track. Plenty of opportunities for overtakes. You do have about 18 corners, 10 right-handers, 8 left-handers, and 2 DRS zones. So yeah, that is most likely where we'll be seeing the majority of our overtakes. But looks like our Manson does improve, puts in a 127.3, pushing himself up to 7th. However, gets pushed down. It appears that the Yuppie, having just crossed the line, puts himself in 5th, a 127.0. And we do have Mamu here finishing up in Sector 2, is actually up by 2/10 on his time. And if he's able to eat up a little bit more time here, he can possibly secure a first row for the starting grid. And taking a little bit too much of the corner right there. I'm actually surprised he didn't validate, but looks like Mamu actually does improve by 2/10, almost 3/10, and pushes himself up to 2nd, right next to MK7 Hitch and right ahead of Fate. And we do have Hoven Rally, who's about to cross the line. Does improve, unfortunately not enough to gain a position there. And for those who are tuning in for the first time, Anime Gooner is known as Frozen. Is actually on his alternative account. Most likely looking to do a last to first challenge. I wouldn't be surprised if he's actually able to get it, considering he is quite a driver with amazing pace. Well, let's see. We do have Fosina, who is currently starting on his lap at the moment. MK7 Hitch, I do see, is currently on an out lap. But Fosina, who is currently sitting in fifth at the moment in the driver standings, um, unfortunately didn't participate last week. He was in third in the driver standings, now having dropped down 2 positions to Fate and Moikuli. But with Moikuli absent today, that can give him a bit of a chance to capitalize on some points and gain back a position there in the standings. We do see Fosina here finishing up in Sector 2. Actually appears to be up by a tenth, almost 2 tenths on his time, and that can actually be enough to get past the Yuppie on the starting grid. And I do see MK7 Hitch has started his lap time. I do see him in Sector 1, but Fosina does improve, and as I said, is going to get past the Yuppie there. But looks like Infant Eater coming out of nowhere, putting in a 126.8, manages to put himself in fifth at the moment. So we do have a couple of drivers here from our Gnosis Division 2 group trying to get in that extra practice. A couple of our top... Ooh, that is MK7H losing the car right there. What a save to keep the car away from the barriers there. Yeah, very, very close call. I do see that Fate actually managed to put in an even faster lap, puts in a 126.0. But yeah, as I mentioned, a couple of our top drivers in our Gnosis Division 2 group, they are allowed to participate in the Gnosis Division 1. And yeah, just try getting that extra practice. They have the racecraft to most likely keep up with the rest of this group. Well, let's see. Looking at who else is currently setting a lap, looks like all the drivers are on a cooldown lap. Yeah, the majority of them with the flashing fuel light. And I do know Turtle Commander 7 was going to join in. So not yet. Alrighty, so it looks like our only driver at the moment to set a lap is Infant Eater, who is currently reserving in the Aston Martin for today. It does actually appears to be up on his time there in Sector 1. Very tricky part of the track. I was told it, especially by Mini Tony. I think that is a section on the track where it's a little bit difficult, especially with the no assist, the no racing line, and the no anti-lock brakes. So Infant Eater finishing up here in Sector 2, going through Maggots and Beckett's. Another tricky part of the track, we did see, as I mentioned there in Tier 2, how we did see a couple of drivers lose the car, and Infant Eater actually up by a tenth there. Yeah, we saw Darius Maestro, who lost the car there in Maggots and Beckett's, went straight into the barrier. So yeah, just a very tricky track in terms of trying to keep the car stable, but here we do have Infant Eater, who puts in a little bit too much power, and was a good save. However, looks like that is going to really hurt him right there. Unfortunately, not able to improve. He was up on his time, and it does look like Atron has retired in the pit lane. So both McLarens having retired. And I do see we have Mamu and Hoven Rally who are currently. So Mamu, who appears to be ahead of the Ferrari there, so we'll keep an eye on Mamu. Does have a driver up ahead, however, I don't think he's going to be close enough to interfere there. And I do see Chernobyl Clocks actually also mentioning that Lufield is quite a bit of a struggle in terms of the Gnosis. And for those who aren't aware, Chernobyl races in our Gnosis Division 2 group. Uh, so he's speaking from experience there. But Mamu finishing in sector 2 actually puts in a purple second sector. Is actually up on his time. And it does look like leader Leadbag having retired in the pit lane, but Mamu going here on the penultimate corner, now entering the final corner. And can he gain enough time? And puts in a provisional pole of 125.7, giving a little bit of an ecstatic wiggle. And looks like we do have, oof, and that is MK7 Hitch accidentally taking down the board right there. I think he was trying to give the Alpine space on the track. Jeez. And looks like Mamu might be able to hold that pole position. Hoven Rally currently on the gravel. MK7 Hitch and Fate unfortunately not able to go around for another lap. We do have Fosina who is currently in sector 2. And we have been surprised, so we'll take a look at Fosina to see if he's able to improve here. And if I'm not mistaken, that would actually be Mamu's first ever pole. If I'm not mistaken, I could be. He's gonna have to correct me, but I don't know all the history and the other tracks. But so just definitely remind me or let me know in case. But I do think this is Mamu's first ever pole position. Fosina, who is currently finishing up here in sector 3. And I do think we have Relativity, who is putting in a lap as well, but keeping an eye on Fosina. He is going around the final corner, puts in a 126.3, pushes himself up to 4th. And looks like Relativity not finishing up a lap, is actually off, letting all the drivers through. And Mamu, we do appreciate you going around the extra lap to retire in the pit lane. We do appreciate that. And ooh, looks like leader Leadbag actually saying he lagged out and his wheel got disconnected. So let me see if I can send him another invite. Alrighty, so I tagged Mamu just to make sure if I was right. But anyways, looking at our starting grid, we have Mamu starting on pole position, a phenomenal lap of 125.7. Uh, right next to him, we have MK7 Hitch in second, Fate in third, Fosina in fourth, Hoven Rally fifth, Armats in sixth, the Yuppie seventh, Infant Eater 8, Atron 9th, Mini Tony 10, that's our top 10, Relativity 11th, Sayo 12th, Ricky Staniki 13th, Anime Gruner in 14th, and Leader Leadbag in 15th. So that is going to be our starting grid for round 10 here in Silverstone. Two more races after this, and yeah, honestly, it has been a really great season. Lots of these drivers doing really well to bring in a lot of battles here. Uh, let's see. I do see. Looks like Turtle Commander 7 is going to be joining in soon. But as a reminder to all our drivers who are listening in, just please make sure not to ready up. We do want to give all the drivers enough time to uh, prepare any strategies, any adjustments they need to tweak up as much as they can, considering Park Firm is on. Um, let's see. And I seen Turtle Commander 7 trying to get onto the Twitch. Uh, Jesus Christ. Alrighty, but in terms of strategies, I mean, we have seen the one stop play well. Uh, did see a couple drivers start on the hard compounds in tier 2 and in tier 1, and a few drivers starting on the medium. So, yeah, reverse strategy can work as well. Two stop, I mean, yeah, I don't think many did. In tier 1, we did have, as I mentioned in tier two's broadcast, we did have those two safety cars, so drivers having pit with the extra free pit stop. And looks like it was actually Mamu's first ever pole. So yeah, big congratulations to you, Mamu. You've honestly improved a lot. I know you've joined in quite a few seasons ago. So yeah, I always love to see that. I love to see improvement. And hopefully we see more of that afterwards. But yeah, our drivers, they do have about 3 to 5 minutes break. So we'll be giving them the ready up soon. And our weatherman did mention that it is going to be a dry race. So as we can see, yeah, it looks like it's going to be sunny. Unfortunately, no rain. And hopefully, maybe in Gnosis Division 2, we'll have some rain. I know, I know plenty of the drivers are hoping not. Alrighty, so they will be getting the go ahead soon. I'm just going to make sure in case Turtle Commander 7 needs another invite. An invite to the party because he already has one. Alrighty. I had to answer Turtle Commander 7 really quick. But anyways, they will be starting off soon. If you're tuning in for the first time, our division runs without formation lap on, so they will be diving straight into the race. And yeah, will Mamu be able to defend that lead? We have 5 lights and off they go. And Mamu with a pretty good lead. We do have a couple movements happening in the back as well. MK7 Hitch there on the inside. Haha, very close to the rear of Mamu right there. Well, it looks like the top 6 drivers remaining close behind of each other. Any movements happening in the back. Looks like all the drivers giving each other just enough space. A couple movements happening. We do see Anime Gunner gaining 2 positions right there. And the Yuppie getting the overtake down on Infinite Eater. Looks like a little bit of side-by-side racing. Looks like the Yuppie's going to remain ahead, keeping his position. And Relativity trying to make a move on the inside of Mini Tony. Mini Tony defending that position for his life there on the start. And Cold Tires, I will say all the drivers doing really well to keep the car straight. And let's get all these positions done. And that is Ontron, and I do believe that might have been Infant Eater. And that is that going to bring out a safety car? That was quite the incident ahead of Mini Tony. Mini Tony probably having a really good view on that from his stream. I'll have to take a look at that afterwards. But very gutting for Atron, who does participate in this race in preparation for his Gnosis Division 2 group on Wednesday. So yeah, we'll take a look at that afterwards. I'm pretty sure Mini Tony's thinking, what the heck was that? But yeah, most likely it is going to be a virtual safety car. No I see no yellow car on the track, so it is a virtual safety car. So all the drivers having to make sure they're keeping their car within the delta. They don't want to pick up that extra drive-through penalty. But we are still currently under yellow flags. That appears to be Infant Eater. Oh, Mini Tony going a tad bit wide right there, and so Anime Gooner is gonna go right through. So they're on the outside. Anime Gooner getting the position. So Anime Gooner actually up 6 positions there. It's throwing me off a little bit calling Anime Gooner that name, considering I know his name is Frozen. But we do have green flags and Anime Gooner right on the tail of the Yuppie. I do see the Turtle Commander 7 has joined in on the chat, so big welcome to you, good sir.
Hello, I'm here.
Yep, good to have you in here. Just let me know what the code is for. I see you trying to log in.
I actually got in. I didn't. Thank you. I appreciate it. I've been struggling, but we in. We in.
Perfect. Yeah, we just started our race. We're on lap 2 out of 26. Mamu, who was able to secure his first ever pole position, still currently leading the race. He does have MK7 Hitch and Fate right on his tail. Ooh, Fate locking up right there, and I know I'm gonna put my share screen for you. Completely forgot about that.
You're a beauty.
Yeah.
You called it right in time. Beautiful, thank you.
Yep, gotcha. So Fate, even with that little slip up, still less than a second behind of MK7 Hitch. MK7 Hitch right on the tail of Mamu.
We are in it. We are here. Lap 3, Silverstone. Hello, everybody. I'm sorry I'm late. Thank you, Laraji, for having me. Hello. Where are we? Mahmood in first place. I don't think that happens often. Hello, Mahmood. Good job. Hello.
Yeah, Mamu has done a really amazing job this whole season. I think definitely a lot of improvement from him. So looking forward to seeing what he's able to do. Hopefully, if he decides to continue next season.
I think he should.
That's right, you tell him. But yeah, he does have MK7 Hitch right on his tail. MK7 Hitch is going to get the DRS, and can Mamu still defend that position, trying to use up as much battery as he can?
I found now that I can press the number buttons on my keyboard, and that will change the positions on the camera. So I am a whole new producer in this in this game.
Nice Fate getting the fastest lap on 129.4. And yeah, top 4 maintaining less than a second behind of each other. A little bit of a gap between. Ooh, for a second I thought that was MK7 Hitch losing the car there for a second, but as I was saying that, yeah, Fosina 2 seconds ahead of Hoven Rally. So
Very nice. I like this.
yeah, all the drivers keeping it safe. There was a little bit of an incident between, it appears, Infant Eater and Autron. Autron with a automatic retirement, and yeah, very gutting to see, since as I mentioned before, he does use this as extra practice for Wednesday.
Clearly not extra practice this week.
Apparently he's gonna have to look for the extra practice somewhere else. But oof, MK7 Hitch Shu going a bit wide off on the runoff right there, and looks like
Glad
that's
he
gonna
was
cost
able to
him a little bit of
rejoin
time.
very nicely.
Yeah, he followed that line very easily. Yeah, there's plenty of runoff on this track, I think, and
jumped, skipped, and hopped through the gravel just to get back without losing a position. That's very good. Fate still keeping a close gap. I think he's prepping to get Mitch on Hitch. Jesus. I'm blending letters now. But as I say that, Hitch is making moves on Mahmood. Mahmood only has a 210 gap, 110 gap on MK7H. He's gonna have to defend for his life here, trying to break the toe. MK7H with DRS open, trying to make the move. No, Mahmoud holding the position.
Really great defending.
Very good defending, holding the car, putting it right in the way of MK7H. MK7H being tactically, I want to say mature. 5 laps in, you don't want to be putting a nose where it does not go.
Yes, especially on this track, you don't want to overcook those tires.
Oh, you do not. Let me tell you, mummy, you do not want to overcook those tires. So we are P1 to P4. They are within a second. We got another. What am I doing on my screen here? I do not have the necessary things showing. There we go. Very much better. I can't even speak. So it snowed up in Canada, and I had to shovel, and I am a little tired. And
yeah, no, I completely understand. I had to shovel yesterday. Jeez.
Whoa, did you see that? Did you see that little bit come off of MK7H? Oh.
I think that was just a little minor contact, although I do think MK7H is going to be close enough to get an overtake here. He is right on the back of Mamu, looking to make a move on the inside.
He's going for it.
And
he's got it.
Yeah, he does get it. So he makes the move stick. So MK7H now our new race leader. And Fate just tailing right behind. I do know that Fate was complaining that this track doesn't give a lot of opportunities to overtake, although we saw plenty of them on Tier 2, so we shall see how this goes, and in Tier 1 as well.
Yes, I do believe that this track, it does present fair amount of overtaking. The issue is that, like, what do you want to do? Do you want to overtake and you know, and be the leader and kind of cook your tires? Or do you want to get into a flow and just kind of hold yourself out, let the other two kind of fight, you know, wear their tires a bit more? I know that staying close does cook a little bit your tires, but if we're going to be playing strategy here and really talking about, you know, what is best for the end outcome of this race, I think Fate's kind of got it just in the right zone. Keep it within half a second. You know, keep within the DRS. Don't fight too hard. Stay within it. Watch it. Be the first. You know, be the you know, the first class seat. Be the front seat for the show. And then, you know, George Russell that stuff, and just try to collect with whatever you can. I mean, even a P3 isn't that bad. It's huge points at the end of the day, so.
Yeah, definitely, of course. And, yeah, plenty of points on the line. MK7H, as we mentioned earlier, our standings is our leader. So, yeah, it has been an interesting season. And I think all the drivers doing really well to keep it conservative. I don't think we've seen a lot of crazy kind of things happening, but
you say that, but but then the next 20 laps are just full of
I'm gonna jinx it.
Bickering and banging that it leads to tickets, which we love. We love tickets. I want to say it here
Speak
first.
For yourself.
Anytime drivers send tickets, we love tickets. Analyzing the driving style of all our drivers is our #1. Is our favorite thing to do, drivers. We love it.
And I see a couple movements happening in the back. Oh, it looks like that is Relativity.
Yeah, let me switch over here.
Alrighty,
Relativity!
So, yeah, Relativity switching over to the hard compounds. Our top 3 remaining still less than a second. Falsina has actually dropped back about a second and a half behind a Fate, so I do wonder if he's struggling a little bit with the medium tires now, having been 7 laps in. We do have the Yuppie who actually one of our few drivers in the top 10 who started on the hard compound. So yeah, it should be
I mean, it's
good.
a good strategy. It's a good strategy. We've seen top esports drivers within the 2025 season, now that we're past 2025, but we've seen those drivers hold on to the hard strategy and then, depending on what happens during the race, kind of option out. They used to call the option tire or whatever in F1 in the past, but
Mhm.
yeah, he has the benefit of kind of whatever happens in this race. At one point, if it goes to a yellow car or a safety car, sorry, um, to be able to go on the better strategy, or he just runs it out on the regular strategy with the one
Mhm.
stop on medium. So I think it's a great spot. If all he has to do is just kind of hold out, make positions. He's half a second from our Manson, passes our Manson. A little bit of work to get to Hoven Raleigh, but still, everybody's going to be losing grip, losing rubber on those medium tires faster than the Yuppie is. So that will definitely be an advantage for his race.
Yeah, definitely. I was just on board with Mamu and MK7 Hitch going a tad bit wide and picking up. We might have actually picked up a little track limit, but yeah. So just something else to keep an eye on, especially on this track. The exceeding track limits. We saw in Tier 1 and Tier 2 quite a number of drivers pick up penalties for the track limits. So
And as you say that, did leader bags just pick up a penalty?
yeah, leader leadback actually does have a 3-second penalty. So yeah, it looks like it has already started.
For PO7 in the pits. Let me see. I'm assuming he's gonna go to the hards. Should go to the hards. It only can be the hards. One can say PO7 will put on the hard-ons. Hard-on. Yeah. Words. Yep.
Yeah, he'll
Hards are
put the
going
hearts on.
on.
Oh, and leader lead by picking up a 10-second penalty for speeding
10.
in the pit lane, retiring
Oh,
in
and
the pit lane. Yeah,
retiring.
that's gutting. And I was mentioning this before. This track is very tricky in terms of the pit entry because you have to slow down. It's such a weird pit entry where we have seen so many drivers pick up the 10-second penalty. I think in Tier 2 we had 2 or 3 drivers who picked it up. So not exactly sure in Tier 1, but it is. You have to slow down.
Well, see, this is the thing, is that like you can push to the line, or you can like stop before it and crawl over the line and negate the 10 second. I get it. You will lose a few seconds or a few half seconds, whatever you want to call it, in the race. I get it. But is the 10 seconds worth it? You know what I mean? I think this is something every driver should think of going into anything that they're doing within a race, right? Is it worth it to overpush and potentially risk a penalty that's gonna cause you way more fates in, yeah, fates in the pit? You were on that. I was watching that. I
Yeah,
just reacted to it.
I want
But
to see. I
anyways,
want to see if he slowed down just enough.
just enough, right? But that's the thing, right? Is that like it's like don't risk it on something you don't have to risk it on. You may lose a little bit of time, but in the overall sense, if you pitted, you know, conservatively enough, then you should be able to make that time on track once you're in the rhythm, in the rhyme.
Mhm.
Get with it. It's bobsled time.
Yeah, because
So
it is a very long pit stop.
exactly, exactly. Exactly. You're losing time no matter what in this pit stop. I mean, we're not in the car. We're not right there at the line. You're not feeling it in your butt when you're gonna lose it type deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, it's it's not that deep, is what the Turtle Commander is trying to say.
Yep, and I'm still keeping an eye on MK7 Hitch and Mamu. And Mahmoud's been doing really well to keep it within the DRS of MK7H, so he's using him a little bit to tail forward. But I do wonder who's going to be the first to pull the trigger and go into the pits, or who will try for an undercut. And looks like MK7 Hitch actually just entering the pit lane and hopefully doesn't pick up a 10-second penalty. Looks like he doesn't.
So I'm keeping it online with the Yuppie, and I'm gonna kind of watch you, watch him, watch together on Twitch, twitch.tv/Elite Raceway for all your dual commentary needs. But I'm very curious as a result of Yuppie. I hope he makes ground and gains some positions at the end of this race. I know he's gonna get taken over again, and you know, and MK and Fate might go through.
Oof, that is
Mahmoud will
contact
be.
between Fate, Ricky Stanicki, and I do think that was that Placina as well? Sorry to interrupt you. I was just keeping
No,
my
no,
head.
that's a good interruption. I was
Who
filling dead air.
who picked up? I do think Fate picked up damage. Ricky Stanicki was trying to defend the inside line.
I thought I saw MK with damage too. No, no, not MK. Sorry, Ricky. Uh. Oh.
Yeah, that is
Okay, let me.
Fate. Missing
Yeah.
his left hand play does have quite major damage on the left side of his
Oh
wing.
my goodness.
That wasn't MK7 Hitch.
Oh
There was someone
my
else behind them.
goodness.
Couldn't tell if it was the
I think
Williams.
it's Ricky Stanicki.
But there was a third car that went into Fate who was sideways. I do see MK7 Hitch getting the move done on Ricky Stanicki.
Let me check Anime Gooner. Oh, I don't like that name. I mean, it's a good name, but I mean,
That's actually Frozen. Frozen's alternative account.
ha! Oh, welcome back, Frozen. I wish you kept it frozen. And Fate retiring. Wow. Enough happened. Mahmoud in the pits. Mahmoud will go to mediums on. Frozen's gonna pass it? Oh wait, he's not even in the pits yet. Or is he in the pits?
Who? Ricky Stanicki?
I'm
Ricky
like
Stanicki's coming out of
like
the pits.
I'm missing it.
Yeah, Ricky Stanicki's coming
Okay,
out
it
of the
was
pits, so
Ricky
he's gonna
Stanicki. Okay,
come out
sorry.
behind a mini Tony.
I messed up all the names. I went crazy. Look at that. The Yuppie leading the race. As he should, hell yeah. 12 lap old hards. Like in these circumstances, I really wish they would just like on demand let us see the tire wear, because like I get it, maybe a little slower, maybe on a little worn out tires and whatnot, but he's got a good strategy, you know.
He does. Ooh, Cena trying to defend the position from Mamu. And yeah, the Yuppie's still currently out on 12 lamp-old hard compounds. And if he were to pit, he would probably drop down to... How long is the pit stop? About 24? Is it 24 seconds?
4?
I feel like it's 24
I kind of like
seconds.
bet on it every time I like tell you a number.
Yeah.
So it's between 20 and 24.
I could be
I
wrong.
say it's
Yeah,
a
I could be
longer
wrong.
pit stop, yeah, because it is a long like drive-in, right? So it's like I want to say like 4 or 5 seconds. Yeah, so that's the thing, right? But if we look at like how much time he's losing, okay, he's lost a second to MK7H within half a lap. Pit.
Okay.
Pit. Pit. But the thing is that like you can't, you know what I mean? Like you gotta, yeah, you gotta pit. You gotta pit because what is it? He's gonna drop to between 8th and 7th. That's the thing. So this is the point. He's dropped down Maybe it was worth it to pit last lap. You know what I mean?
Could have, yeah. He's probably more focused on track position. I mean, you never know if a safety car might come in. Oh, Mahmoud getting a nice overtake down on Fasina right there on the outside. So Mahmoud back up to third, which would technically be second considering the Yuppie still has yet to pit.
And then, all right, let me switch that over to interval. That's 3 seconds to MK7H after that. It can be done. It can be done. We've seen it be done before. Oop. 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 Oop.
And looks like we have a couple gaps opening up. Anime Gunner, our only driver currently with the 3-second penalty, does have a gap ahead of Hoven Rally of over 5 seconds there. And looks like MK7 Hitch has caught up to the back of the Yuppie. And I will say Mamu was actually a pretty good strategy call from MK7 Hitch to pit. Was it a lap or two earlier than Mamu? Actually, one lap earlier has actually extended the gap.
One.
So over 3.5
lap,
seconds, yeah.
Who is that on MK7H? Is that a blue flag?
No, that's the Yuppie. The Yuppie.
No, that's the Yuppie. What? It looks like pit Yuppie. It looks like a blue flag car. Oh, he drove right past it again. Alrighty, Yuppie.
Oh, still plenty of racing left. There are, what, 11 laps remaining? 10 laps remaining now? And
10 laps remaining, yeah.
You never know. Safety car might come out.
The thing is that, or like, you know what I mean? Is that, okay, this is my, like, kind of gripe with it. I don't hate on it, like I did, but is he a second a lap faster than MK7H? So, you keep on Yuppie. I'm gonna jump on MK7H. And I'm just gonna quickly check and see what the lap times are. You know what I mean? If MK7 is at like a 128 and the Yuppie's at like a 120, at this point it looks like a 130. You know what I mean? You gotta pit. You gotta pit because then you gotta make that time up plus 20 seconds. I don't see that happening.
Mamu closing in the back as well. Mamu now appears to be within the DRS of the Yuppie. We'll see if he's able to close in here in Sector 2. And yeah, it does actually no, it doesn't get the DRS, but he is still closing in quite on the back of that Mercedes.
Yeah, this is gonna be... Yuppie doesn't... There we go. Yuppie goes into the pits. Yuppie goes into the pits. Lap 16... End of lap 16, serves lap 17. He's going to drop down. It's gonna come out right in front of Relativity. I believe. I'm a believer.
I think my math was mathing. He was going to come out behind Relativity. We'll take a look as Relativity is... Actually, no, Relativity just entered the pit. So the Yuppie's going to come out ahead. Yeah.
The house always wins, I guess.
Oh, but Mini Tony is going to be right behind of the Yuppie. So the Yuppie with a fresh set of mediums.
And that was 30 seconds behind?
So everybody's pit. I just want to take a quick look at the position changes. So Anime Gunner up 10 positions at the moment. That is our highest and our second highest. Ricky Stanicki up 4 positions. Mini Tony up 2 positions. And it looks like all the gaps have pretty much opened up. Mamu now 3.5 seconds behind of MK7 Hitch. So MK7 Hitch picking up the pace there, yeah.
Yeah, he's got it. He's moving. He's doing things to get further ahead of other drivers. No, this is MK7 Hitch is putting in a race for the championship. He knows what he's doing. He's trying to be a back-to-back champion here. and really kind of push for a high score ERA
Yeah, for the
status.
and I mentioned this earlier too, and for the constructors as well. So with Macti not here, Sayo's the only driver full time to score points for the Ferrari team. But relativity looks to be finishing the race ahead of Sayo. Of course, you never know; anything could happen in these final 8 laps. But it would be really good points for the Red Bull team. But let's see, we have Anime Gunnar who's closing in on Focina. So Anime Gunnar with the 3-second penalty is now less than a second behind Focina here, entering in sector 2. So I do know Anime Gunnar was planning to do the last to first challenge, I'm pretty sure. Unfortunately, it might be looking a little bit tricky to accomplish here. But the grid has spaced out a little bit, and yeah, so far so good. All the drivers keeping it within the track limits. Surprise, only Anime Gunnar and Leader Leadbag were only 2 drivers to pick up a penalty.
Roger, I just gotta go bring my child to his bed.
No, no
Can you give
problem.
me? Thank you.
No problem. Yeah. Yeah, so we have, looks like our only closing gap is between the McLaren of Anime Gunnar and Focina. The McLaren is going to get the DRS does have the 3-second penalty, but we have seen his pace, and I wouldn't be surprised if once he gets the overtake done on Focina, he extends that gap. But both of them on equal tires. I don't think Anime Gunnar had any damage. I don't think he ran into any incident earlier, but yeah, keeping it well close behind the Williams. And for those tuning in just now, we do have MK7 Hitch, who is currently our championship leader at the moment. And we do have 2 more races left after this. So MK7 Hitch looking to capitalize some points. I do see here Anime Gunnar getting the overtake done on the Williams of Focina. So Anime Gunnar up into 3rd now. And yeah, MK7 Hitch with his rival absent today is looking to capitalize on some major points and try extending that gap for the championship title. And along with the Constructors Championship, so Sayo, unfortunately, with MacT out today, does have Rohan Rally reserving the seat. However, reserves do not score points for the teams. Yeah, Sayo, our only full-time driver in the Ferrari, looking to score some points, but does have to battle against Relativity and MK7 Hitch in the Red Bull. So, yeah, it should be a really interesting last couple of races in terms of the championship. And looks like Focina dropping back quite a bit, almost 2 seconds now behind of Anime Gunnar. So, as I mentioned, Anime Gunnar, even with the 3-second penalty, I wouldn't be surprised if he's able to extend that gap. We do have a couple of small gaps closing in. So Ricky Stanicki looking to hunt down Mini Tony. Ricky Stanicki does have 2 lap younger tires here. And we do have the Yuppie with the fresh 3-lap old mediums trying to catch up to our Manson up ahead in 6th. And looks like the Anime Gunnar is still extending that gap. Infant Eater has actually picked up a 3-second penalty now. And so look, ooh, a little bit of a wiggle there for MK7 Hitch. Has to keep it consistent here. Mamu has closed in, was over 2 seconds behind of MK7 Hitch, now has closed that down. And can Mamu catch up here in these final laps? Mamu, who has shown incredible pace this whole season, has established himself as a front runner, a battle in the front, and yeah, honestly has shown great pace, and we love that he is up there and battling for podiums now. But looks like we do have Fosina, who has gotten rid of the hard compounds, now switching over to the softs. And do think he was losing quite a bit of time behind of Anime Gunner, so most likely looking to probably catch the fastest lap, who is held by Anime Gunnar, 128.4. And looks like up in the back, we do have Ricky Stanicki, who has now closed in right behind of Mini Tony. Ricky Stanicki with 2 lap younger tires is going to have the DRS and is going to have the battery. So can he get the overtake done? Mini Tony, who actually has a missing left end plate, as I'm just noticing that now. So he is going to be mighty slow out here on these corners. And it's going to be extremely painful, especially in Sector 3 in Magus and Beggets. But Ricky Stanicki trying to close in on the back of Mini Tony, holding back, which is probably a smart idea considering he is going to have the DRS on the next upcoming straight. And so Ricky Stanicki with the DRS, Mini Tony unfortunately with the end plate damage. Can he defend that position? Ricky Stanicki trying to make a move on the inside, and Mini Tony trying to defend that. So Mini Tony still remaining alongside and trying to defend that position there on the inside. He is going to have the outside line over here. And Ricky Stanicki trying to keep that position. Both of them are phenomenal side-by-side racing. It looks like Ricky Stanicki might get the upper hand here. Great side-by-side racing between these two drivers, giving each other plenty of space. Mini Tony with the incredible control of the car despite the missing end plate. So really nice driving. I know he said Silverstone is one of his favorite tracks, so yeah, it would be great to see him finish the race. But up ahead, it does look like Mamu has closed in just a little bit behind of MK7 Hitch. So MK7 Hitch with 1 lap older tires. Mamu trying to use that to his advantage now, trying to get less than a second behind of MK7 Hitch. And looking at the battery, MK7 Hitch doing a great job to conserve that battery, trying to not use it in moments where he shouldn't. And we have seen most likely majority of the drivers using that battery on the straight here where MK7 Hitch is going to be going through, and looks like he is going to turn it on, trying to get a little bit of speed ahead of Mamu. But looks like Mamu now less than a second behind of MK7 Hitch, and with 3 laps remaining, looking forward to seeing how this plays out. MK7 Hitch, as I mentioned, doing well to conserve that battery. Mamu having used up quite a lot to try closing that gap behind of the Red Bull. And looking at the gaps behind, looks like Mini Tony dropping back a little bit from Ricky Stanicki after that overtake. But as we mentioned, Mini Tony does have that missing left end plate, so but Mamu still on the hunt for a win. So Mamu, who has only gotten 1 win here in the RA, which we were amazed. It was a phenomenal race by Mamu. Looking to possibly try getting his 2nd win here in the league. So he has been here for quite a long time, so it would be great to see it. And Anime Gunner with the 3-second penalty. Looks like he might not be close enough, especially with those tires to... Yeah, 14 lap old hard compounds. I don't see him closing in on the back of Mamu, even with that great pace he has. Looks like we do have a couple gaps closing in. Our Manson now on the back of... Sorry, the Yuppie now on the back of our Manson. The Yuppie is going to get the DRS, however, looks like he's not going to be close enough to get a move yet. We do have Mamu, who's going to be next in having the DRS behind the driver. And so Mamu trying to use up that battery, trying to get as close as he can to MK7 Hitch. Is Mamu going to try going for the move on the inside? No. And it looks like MK7 Hitch going to defend that position, staying ahead of Mamu. And we should be having the Yuppie also getting the DRS behind of our Manson. Has to make sure he gets a really good exit here. Is trying to use up that battery, does have the DRS, and is going to be closing in. Is he going to make a move on the inside? Looks like he's going to slow down and choose to wait. And a pretty good call from the Yuppie, trying to keep it patient, possibly waiting for the final lap here. But we do have Relativity, who has picked up a 3-second penalty now, and does have Sayo about 5 seconds behind, almost 5 seconds behind of him. So just has to make sure he keeps the pace and keep it consistent ahead of the Ferrari, especially in terms of the Constructors' Championship. But we are currently on the penultimate lap. We have the battle for first between MK7 Hitch and Mamu, and the battle for fifth, the Yuppie and our Manson. And so Mamu is going to have the battery. MK7 Hitch using up a little bit as well, having saved up quite a bit. And is Mamu going to try attempting a move on the inside? Looks like he's not going to be able to get alongside there, but Mamu staying right behind the Red Bull there. So the Aston Martin putting in a little bit of pressure on MK7 Hitch. Looks like we do have still our Manson and the Yuppie. So our Manson actually out of battery, and the Yuppie can actually see that those blinking lights. So possibly thinking he has a chance on the final lap. I do see we have yellow flags. That appears to be Sayo in sector 1 there. So here on the final lap, Mamu has one more chance to try attempting an overtake on MK7 Hitch. MK7 Hitch sitting on about 70% of battery. Having saved up plenty there on the final lap. Can Mamu try getting the overtake here? And Mamu picking up a 3-second penalty, having exceeded track limits, and gosh, MK7 Hitch probably smiling at that and using as much battery as he can. Of course, you never know if the driver can appeal the penalty. So, yeah, MK7 Hitch draining that battery, trying to remain ahead of Mamu. And looks like that is going to be our finish. Although MK7 Hitch has to make sure he keeps it consistent here on the final lap. Just make sure he doesn't lose the car. But MK7 Hitch going to cross the line for the win. And up in the back, we do have the Yuppie, and it looks like Fosina has joined in as well, but the Yuppie right on the back of our Manson, draining that battery. Our Manson with nothing to use in the tank, and the Yuppie attempting a move on the inside. Can he make the move stick? Trying to use as much of the battery as he can, and looks like our Manson trying to defend that position, defends it quite well. Although going a tad bit wide right here, the Yuppie right there on the inside, and is actually going to get our Manson there on the line. And oh, that is BO2 having a little bit of a spin, luckily after the line, and phenomenal overtake by the Yuppie, making use of those medium tires. And really nice stuff for our Manson. Jeez, really good defending from the V carb. And it looks like we are just waiting for Sayo to cross the line. Yes, it is. But really good racing between the top two, MK7 Hitch and Mamu. Anime Gunner, who not even surprised, is actually able to secure a podium finish. And take a look at who got the driver the fastest lap. Totally forgot. And are we gonna get the screen? Hopefully we do. And or maybe not. EA tripping a little bit. Okay, there we go. Alrighty, so for round 10 here in Silverstone, round 10 out of 12, we have MK7 Hitch for the win, extending his lead in the championship ahead of Mac T in the Ferrari. Sharing the podium, we have Mamu and Anime Gunnar, our top three drivers. Anime Gunnar also picking up the fastest lap, so those are an extra 2 points. From P4 all the way to the bottom, we have Hoban Rownley, The Yuppie, R. Manson, Fosina, Ricky Stanicki, Mini Tony, and Relativity, our top 10 drivers. And from 11th all the way to the bottom, we have Infant Eater in 11th, Sayo 12th, and our three DNFs, Fate, Leader Liebag, and Atron. So, yeah, that is our grid, our results for round 10. And it was honestly a really good race between MK7 Hitch and Mamu, as well as a couple of other battles happening in the midfield as well. But anyways, we do have, as I mentioned, 2 races left. Next race will be Imola. Our final race will be in Shanghai, China. And yeah, honestly, it has been a really great season. Big thanks to all our drivers who have been participating, and for those who actually wake up and even despite weird hours. Yes, we do appreciate you guys joining in. Hopefully, we'll see you guys again next week. And to our viewers, thank you very much for tuning in as well. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and a subscribe. That way, you'll be able to get notifications when we're live. So, yeah, thank you all. And Turtle Commander disappeared on me, but it's okay. Big thanks to Turtle Commander 7 who joined in on the comms booth. Uh, yeah, we're looking forward to next week to these final races, and we do have our Gnosis Division 2 group on Wednesday night at 9 p.m. So stay tuned for that as well. Um, yeah, everybody have a great night, good morning, good evening, wherever you're watching from, and we'll catch you guys on the next race.